Hello Year 8! I hope you're well and having a lovely day. For this lesson you will need your exercise book or paper, a pen and the extract named Rivertown. So please could you write the date and the title of China in your book and then move on to the do now, and you have 3 minutes to do that. So what is the capital city of China? Which of these things did the Chinese not invent? Gunpowder, paper, computers, the compass and printing. And name 2 famous historical sites in China. So please pause the video for about 3 minutes to write down the date and title and complete the do now. Okay, so these are your answers. The capital city of China is Beijing. China is not responsible for the invention of computers. Chinese historical sites you could have included are the Great Wall, the Terracotta Army, the Forbidden City, the Summer Palace, the 3 Confucius sites, and the Potala Palace. So please could you make a note of any answers you didn't get right, and then we can move on. Okay, so how is this relevant to today's lesson? In today's lesson, we'll be reading a text called Rivertown by Peter Hessler. This text depicts his visit to China and his experience at the Great Wall. We'll be looking at the way Hessler describes and presents the wall, looking specifically at the language he uses. So you now have 3 minutes to think of 5 adjectives to describe the Great Wall. For example, towering and unique. If you want to challenge yourself, use a simile or a metaphor. For example, the Great Wall slithers through the greenery like a python. So remember, a simile is comparing 2 things using like or as, and a metaphor is saying something is something else. So please pause the video for 3 minutes to do that now. Okay, so now if you now come up with 5 adjectives to describe this part of the wall. For example, drab and lifeless. For your challenge, use alliteration or onomatopoeia to describe it. So alliteration, multiple words, 2 or more, starting with the same letter. Onomatopoeia, words that sound like the sound they represent. So an example of alliteration is drab, dusty and dirty, also a tricolon. The Great Wall sat alone decaying. So sat alone is also personification because it gives it a human characteristic. So please pause the video for 3 minutes. Okay, I would like you to take some time now to read the extract from Rivertown. Underline any words or expressions which are used to describe the location, and highlight words or sentences which show the writer's thoughts, feelings, opinions, and actions. As a challenge, does the writer use any figurative language? So that's metaphors, similes, and personification. So please pause the video for 10 minutes to read very carefully through that extract, completing the actions on this slide. Then we'll go through it together. So please pause the video now. So on this slide and the next few slides, I've bolded where the writer has used thoughts, feelings, opinions, or actions to describe their thoughts, feelings, opinions, or actions, and I've underlined facts and any other descriptions about the location. So please have a look through the next few slides to check if your work matches up with mine. If it's a bit different, don't worry, but I would note down what I have, how I have analysed it. Okay, so the main task of your lesson today will be to create a paragraph answering the following question. How does the writer present the wall in his description? But in order to analyse this effectively, we need to gather some quotations and explore those first. You have 5 minutes to find 3 quotations within Hessler's Rivertown that you could use to answer this question. So please pause the video for 5 minutes to do that now. Okay, so these are some example quotations you may have chosen. A crumbling 20-foot high pile of dirt, standing uselessly under the burning sun. A mound of sand swallowed the ridge, and I skirted the dune until I saw the next tower rising in the distance. It was a ragged patchwork landscape and the green swathes of corn. A field of poplars had been planted nearby, the trees thin and brittle looking under the Shanxi sun. Dead brown horizon, So if you didn't get all of these, please note them down before you move on. Okay, so this is an example of a quote explosion. If you chose the quote, "A crumbling 20-foot high pile of dirt standing uselessly under the burning sun," this is what you might have analysed. Crumbling. Adjective has connotations of neglect and decay. 20-foot high. Sensory imagery. Sight. Allows the reader to picture what the wall looks like. Pile of dirt reinforces the interpretation that the wall is decaying and that Hessler does not like or approve of the wall, almost like he is using this description as an insult. And then uselessly suggests to the reader that Hessler does not like the wall or sees a reason for it being there. And because it's standing uselessly, it is an adverb. So remember, you always get a few extra marks for adding in the word classes. You now have 10 minutes to analyse and explode 3 quotations that you extracted from the text. Try to use a different quotation from the one I have chosen and modelled for you. So please pause the video for 10 minutes to do that now. So here is an example paragraph. The writer uses sensory imagery in the phrase, "a crumbling 20-foot pile of dirt standing uselessly under the burning sun," to present the wall as decaying and highlight his disdain for it. The choice of the adjective crumbling suggests that the wall is falling apart and extremely fragile, that if the writer were to touch it, it would fall to pieces. This suggests to the reader that the wall is neglected and decaying, and the sight of it is not as magnificent or great as the name suggests. You now have 15 minutes to create 2 such paragraphs answering the following question. How does the writer present the wall in his description? Points to think about or cover. How is the wall described? Is it positive or negative? How does the writer show his feelings? What language does he use to show this? What effect does the language use to create? How is his piece structured? Think about the order of events. How does he start and finish the piece? And how does this make the reader think or feel? So you've also got a basic writing template. The writer uses insert key term, technique or method here in the phrase, insert quotation from text here, to present insert keywords from question there. The choice of the word, insert word from quotation here, suggests insert connotation or synonym here. This makes the reader feel insert reaction. So that's your basic writing template. And on the next slide, I've got the mark scheme. So this is how it would be marked. Of course, I'm not actually marking it, but it is helpful in terms of producing the highest quality answer you can. So please could you pause the video to write that now. So that brings us to the end of today's lesson. Thank you very much for your hard work today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.